Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this October 14th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. We're glad that you're here with us. If you ever want to find our content, you can go to EOA.network. That takes you to a link tree where you can find the locations of our Facebook, Roku, our website, and then also just know that all of these episodes, all of the sports episodes, they end up on Spotify and other podcast platforms so that you can, listen to those later and as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. Glad that you're here with us. Here in just a little bit, we are going to have LGSD Superintendent George Mendoza will be with us. How are you?
Good. Second Monday. We're there. It's starting to feel like fall outside now. Yeah, I was going to go to the JV football game last night, and I walked outside with my camera bag, made it halfway out to the car, and turned around. That's bad, huh? I was like, no, I'm not dealing with the rain today. I have to tomorrow, so I was like, I'm just going to. I was tired, too, from the weekend, just long days, and I was like, I mean, it's not the end of the world if I miss a JV game.
No, yeah. I think that you have pretty easily exceeded your photo expectation.
Yeah. I mean, I still have ones that I don't want to miss. Like senior nights are super important to me, and I wish that EOU homecoming would have been on Sunday instead of Saturday. You know what I mean? Because that one was a tough one to miss.
Yeah.
And, I mean, especially since Brody had a good game and he's a little
kid.
But I mean, it was the choice to go to Portland was, it was an easy choice to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of interesting. You and I talk about this all the time, but when you started doing sports, it's not like you set out to be a photographer. No, I mean when you started working for me here, you were just doing your
sports,
thing.
Yeah. No, I didn't even know what I was going to do at first.
Yeah.
I mean, because Johnny and I were doing 3 hours of mostly national. We covered local very little.
Yeah. Right.
And then I just jumped in to local, and I said, I'm not going to focus on national or regional at all. I'm going to go all local. You know what I mean? And, But yeah, the photography thing just kind of.
Well, and then and so then you interviewed guests. That was one of the things that you did right off.
Yep.
And then somewhere along the lines, well, could I take the camera and go take some pictures? Awesome. And I've said this many times. It's like. I bought all this photo equipment partially because I hoped that sometime I could take sports and wildlife photography, and I just never had the opportunity to do it. So, but now.
Now I'm passionate about it.
Well, now you're passionate about it, and people request you.
Yeah.
And so, no, that's awesome, man.
I mean,
And you're good at it.
I'm grateful for it, yeah.
You're good at it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that neither one of us anticipated that sports photos would be a big part of EOA sports.
When I started, I thought it was all going to be video.
Right.
You know what I mean? I used to, before I even started taking pictures, I was recording, stuff with the gimbal and a camera, and then I just, out of the blue, I don't know what triggered it. It was like, maybe I should take some still pictures, and then it's just, there's something that just draws me to it. I think it's emotion, like connecting emotionally with athletes.
Yeah.
And it taking pictures puts you right there. You're it's almost like you're kind of part of it to me. You know what I mean?
Well, and from the user standpoint, they can be sitting in a waiting room someplace and just thumbing through photos and looking.
Yep.
I guess the one thing I would say is, all of those photos are brought to you by a sponsor who helps pay for that. We couldn't do this without the people who help pay for it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so then when those photos are tagged with a sponsor, then go tell those people sometime
Absolutely.
that they appreciate what it is that you provide for them. So
Yep.
good. Well, hey, you want to do sports?
Let's do it.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit. The new X-Monster chassis combines the legendary power and durability of X-Max with even more strength, larger size, and new series of replica monster truck bodies. The new belted chevron pattern monster truck tires deliver outstanding traction, and this thing goes over 50 miles an hour. You can get your favorite truck body for a little bit extra and put it on this new Traxxas and unleash 30 plus volts of extreme power. These Traxxas RC cars are crazy. He's a exclusive dealer, Joe, down at Hobby Habit. Go check him out, Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it. I had the privilege to attend the Clell Carson Wrestling Hall of Fame induction. The LeGrand community showed up in support, filling, I say, over half the chairs in the building. There were 7 people being inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Oregon chapter, and LeGrand filled over half the chairs. It was crazy. That shows a lot about the legacy that Clell has built and continues to build. And it was a good night. Good food, good people, and a good person that we were celebrating. It was homecoming and the Frontier Conference opener for EOU football this weekend, and things went very well. The Mounties beat ACU 26-6. They're now 2-3 overall, 1-0 in the Frontier Conference. LHS grad Brody McMillan had 15 carries for 98 yards and a touchdown in the victory. They head to Ashland this weekend for a big one against Southern. That kicks off at 1 o'clock on Saturday. EOU women's soccer beat Carroll on Thursday 3-1, but lost to Rocky on Saturday 5-1 to conclude their weekend Montana trip. They are 8-4-1 and 5-2 in the CCC. They host Tech and Southern on Friday and Saturday. They're unbeaten at home. These ladies haven't lost at home yet this year, and they look to extend that streak. Kickoff for both games is at 4 p.m. at Community Stadium. EOU men's soccer is still yet to lose this season. The men beat Carroll 3-2 on Thursday and tied Rocky 1-1 on Saturday. They are 8-0-4 and 5-0-2 in the CCC, which, I mean, this men's soccer team is the returning CCC tournament champions. Jesse went out and got some key players. They have arguably the best defender in the whole conference in Rene Prieto, and they might win this conference. They're looking really good. They host OIT and Southern this weekend as well, and those games kick off Friday and Saturday at 6. EOU volleyball went to Northwest and Evergreen this weekend and didn't lose a set to extend their record winning streak to 20 games. The Mounties have only lost 6 sets all season and sit alone atop the CCC with a 2-game lead. They play Corbin in Salem on Friday at 6 and Bushnell in Eugene on Saturday at 4. EOU cross country went to the LCC Invitational. The men finished 4th overall and were the highest placing NAIA school, while the women finished 6th. Riley Morris and Thomas Ogden were named the CCC Runners of the Week, as both of them finished as the NAIA top runners in their respective races. I'll have Thomas Ogden on the sports show sometime this week, maybe early next week. We'll see. I sat down with him and Kalia Hines, and those interviews will come out as soon as I can get them done. LHS football spoiled Baker's homecoming on Friday night, beating the Bulldogs 49-9 in Baker. It was a good game. A much better game as it comes to discipline, and not. The week before we had 8 false starts, and I don't know that we even had one on Friday night. And I asked one of the players, and I'm not going to say who. Like we were talking before the game, and I was like, what was with all the false starts last week? And they said there's probably not going to be as many tonight because we got punished for that. They ran a lot during the week. 8 false starts is a lot, and you that's just one of those discipline things where if you can't hear the quarterback, and that's not an excuse, watch the ball. It's that simple. LeGrand sits alone atop the GOL and goes to Turner to take on Cascade in a non-GOL game on Friday. Around the GOL, Ontario lost to the Dalles 31-14. Pendleton had a bye. In scores around the Valley, Imbler beat Elgin 38-36. Cove beat Pilot Rock 44-0. And Union beat Powder Valley 36-6. I'll have more about football and the schedules for Friday on Thursday. We'll put a Canva out tomorrow with the game that we're doing this week over in Pendleton. And if you're interested in advertising, give us a message or an email, office@EOA Live TV. You see the phone numbers on there too. You can call. We have, I think, 2 home game, one LeGrand home game left, and a couple Pendleton and 1 Baker, I believe. LHS volleyball split in Seaside over the weekend, beating Warrenton and losing to Corbett. They host Baker at 6:30 on Thursday. In what, if it's anything like the last matchup, is going to be a heck of a game. They went over to Baker and went 5 sets. They were dominant in the 4th set, in the 3rd set, excuse me. And then they just kind of lost the momentum and ended up losing 3-2. But this should be a really good game on Thursday night. LHS boys soccer's on the road at Ontario today. That game kicks off at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And finally, the LHS girls soccer team will host Ontario tonight at 5 and celebrate their seniors. Get up to Community Stadium and support these girls as they make a run to win the GOL. And I have all 9 of the seniors' interviews coming out as soon as I can get those done too. I got a lot of interviews in the bank. I just got to get them put together. They don't just magically, it doesn't just go from camera to social media. So as soon as I get those put together, they'll be out as well. AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
Yep. That's why we like doing live stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
There's no post-production.
Yeah, once it's done, it's done. Yeah, people have no idea how complicated production is.
It's a royal pain.
Yeah. So.
Especially if you don't like that kind of, you know what I mean? I'd much rather be taking pictures, interviewing somebody. I mean, I'd rather clean the bathroom than sit there in front of the computer and edit something. Yeah. Like, I like editing pictures, but I don't like editing video.
Yeah. I don't know. The number
you got to be built for
the number
it.
of pictures that you cull through in a weekend.
A lot.
Is like
there was almost 5,000 just for the Clell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's
but I don't stop while I'm shooting to delete pictures. Some people do.
Right. Well, but shooting is just different. See, I mean, I shot film when I was doing what you're doing, and every snap was, I don't know what it was, probably 50 cents by the time and so then I just you had to be
way more conservative.
Yep. Yeah. It's just digital photography is just trying to change the game.
No, I can hammer it down. I mean, I can take pictures faster than the brain of the camera can keep up.
Yeah.
It'll stop me sometimes because that thing takes 40 frames a second. It's flying.
Yeah.
It literally sounds like a machine gun.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's take a look outside.
Folly.
It's a beautiful fall day. Yeah. It was funny. I think over the weekend, Saturday or something, a little gust of wind came by, and man, our yard just filled with leaves.
And you were like, dread.
Yeah, actually, but I love fall. I don't know. Let's look at the forecast for today.
Not me.
I mean, this is, look at this day. This is a perfect day. 77 degrees here in a bit. I mean, and so then you have the cool nights. And no rain. That's kind of what I love about fall.
I would say Saturday is more like fall in Eastern Oregon, though. You know what I mean? Like the cold, this kind of feels like almost like late summer.
Yeah.
By numbers.
Yeah. So, yep. But that's why I like fall. So
warm or decent during the day and cold at night.
Yeah, and the leaves are beautiful. I mean, here in a week or so they'll just be popping. So
you know why I don't like fall? Because I know winter comes next.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, I don't like winter time.
That's right. All right. Well, hey, glad you guys are here with us today. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with George Mendoza.
Eastern Oregon is full of interesting people, with interesting minds and interesting things to say. Here at EO Live, we're committed to connecting you to these intriguing people with EO Talks. We let our special guests share their ideas and life experiences with deep, open, engaging, and inquisitive conversations. You'll also be informed in depth on some of the most recent and relevant events, issues, and more. EO Talks on EO Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon, now on Roku. Need something to watch while you sip your early morning coffee before work? Tune in to Eastern Oregon's only live morning video talk show, AM Live, right here on the EOA network. BC and Dodsey host while shooting the breeze about local happenings, sports, weather, or whatever else comes to mind, featuring special guests from Eastern Oregon and beyond. AM Live, 8 a.m. every Tuesday and Thursday morning, right here on the EOA network.
All right, we're back with LeGrand Superintendent George Mendoza. How are you, man?
Doing well. Good morning, Brett. Morning, Dottie.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
We were talking about your shirt. We like your shirt.
Thank you very
I like
much.
the color.
You can
That's Chargers colors right there.
you can blame Darren Goodman for getting a lot of us excited about Dixon shirts.
Inspiring you for Dixon shirts.
Yeah, he did a good job of doing that.
Yeah. Well, hey, how's it going? What's up, man?
I'm here. We're here. It's good. I'll just say it's a great time of the year, and so usually I'm just in this happier place of things are going okay. The kids are healthy. Wife's good. And family's good.
Yeah.
District's going well, and really excited about life.
Yeah. Now this is what year for you?
This is my 9th year as a superintendent. 29th year in my career.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's good. It's gone fast.
Yeah. Well, cool. So you were, and you were, I think I saw a picture of you at the Clell induction.
Yes.
What an honor that was, huh?
Yeah. Clell's, he's impacted a lot of lives. He's done a lot of great things, and to me, getting a chance to go honor him or support him, first I thought it was a state honoree for like Wrestling Hall of Fame for the state of Oregon, and then another person told me like, no, it's the National Hall of Fame. Yeah. And so then I was really like, I got to go to that. I got to attend that. Number one, he's done a lot for LeGrand, but he's done a lot for the students, for our high school, and then he's impacted a lot of lives with students, with staff, with families, with community, and he's had a great support system through Verl Miller and kind of Verl showing him the ways and mentoring him. But Clell's he's made it a pretty good life.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for him.
I heard so many funny stories on Saturday. Oh my God! I mean, because I come from the Verl Miller days. I was Verl's student aide my senior year.
Yeah.
And so I'm just between the guys from the '80s being there, and then the '90s. I wish they would have asked the state champions to stand up in that room, because there was a lot more of them than you would have been. You would have been surprised at how many people stood up.
Yeah. I'll say this. I was sitting with a group of friends from Clell, past and current, and one of his gifts is he's really good at friendships. Yeah. He's really good at making friends, keeping friends, and keeping them close and connected, which I'm always impressed with. I'm good at friendships, but I think not deep, deep, deep friendships. And I felt like he's really good at deep friendships.
It's a good trait to have. It's hard.
Well, and we've talked many times about the significance of people like Clell, coaches and choir leaders, and that those people help reach kids that sometimes are unreachable in other circles, and how significant that is. And I mean, I'm sure you feel pretty blessed sometime to be around so many people that are like that.
Yeah. No, those are my kind of people.
Yeah.
So people that care, people that build relationships, people that mentor, people that try to provide great experiences or great quality environments. And Clell is like that, but we have a lot of coaches, a lot of teachers that are like that. Really good humans. And LeGrand has a lot of folks like that, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. Well, and those aspects are what I think keep things grounded. I mean, because you get into different, and I'm sure that's this way with school. You've got the business of school all the time that goes on. And sometimes that can lead to confusion or misinterpretation or conflict or whatever it is. But if you know that person is a decent person, then you have some basis to come back to. It's like, so I mean, I think that's like super important in whatever it is that you're doing, and to be able to have teachers like that, or educators, or people that help you do that. I mean, it's just got to be a tremendous blessing for you.
Yeah, no, it is. I'll just say again, ideally we have people that are caring, people that are responsible, people that put in time to plan good lessons, people that care about students learning. And when somebody's not doing well, or when someone's showing that they need support, we have people that pay attention to that and want to give them what they can. So generally, it's a people business, but I think our people really do care quite a bit about the people that are in our schools, and the families in our community. Most of our teachers actually also live in LeGrand and have their children in LeGrand. So they're committed to the success of people in LeGrand.
Right.
And you feel that in a lot of ways.
Well, and I don't know if that's not the case in other times, but I think that is easy for us to lose contact. I mean, because when people are critical of a teacher, or they're critical of a city council person, or they're critical, I mean, it's easy for the public sometimes to forget that, they are us. Those are us, and I've said for a long time that I would love to create some kind of a video where you have a fourth grade classroom and the teacher says, okay, who wants to be the police officers? And some kids, and who wants to be on the city council, who wants to be, and just to demonstrate that, yeah, this is us, the people who manage those things are people that are also invested in the community doing good. And so then this whole thing of that disconnects this whole thing of like, well, it's a them, and they have some kind of an evil agenda to do this, and, yeah.
I wish you bring up something that, I sometimes talk to our admin team about, like, it's us, or we're a team. And I'll sometimes even say team.
Yeah.
We got to talk. We got to work together. We got to figure it out. And in this culture of like, we have bad intentions. We're trying to harm. We're trying to do something nefarious. Like, the reality is, our teachers just want to teach good lessons. They just want to make sure students learn.
Yeah.
They want to make sure everybody's safe, and that people feel seen or valued or understood. They're trying to make sure they have a good day, just like everybody else. And they want to see that they make an impact. Like, that's all they're trying to do. They're not trying to teach a bad lesson. They're not really trying to hurt or harm anyone. If anything, we want kids to graduate. We want kids to attend.
Yeah.
We want kids to pass their classes. We want kids to experience success in school or in sports. We don't have any deep ulterior motives.
Yeah.
And we got to cover what we're supposed to cover and try to make it interesting and fun and relevant.
Yeah. Well, how's the school year going?
As I said earlier, just good. Great start of the year. I always check in on schools and get feedback for a variety of things, and like behavior. Kids are behaving really well, and they're focused better than ever, and they're paying attention.
Good.
So it's been this things are on the right track. Smooth transition, smooth start, going over the rules and expectations, and kids just kind of okay doing it. Staff staying in a positive place. Sometimes you start out and it's this fresh and new year and everybody's excited, and then sometimes after about 6 weeks or 8 weeks, people start to get kind of this is hard, or teaching these lessons or making it interesting, making it fun. All of that starts to draw down, and right now it's been raw positive momentum, and I've got administrators that have been the same administrators in their building. So there's a lot of buy-in and ownership from the staff and the students. And so when you have less transitions and just more continuity, especially continuity where people are happy or pleased with the direction, it's one of our better starts. Or it's probably, for me, it's probably the best start we've ever had.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now the phone policy came into place.
Yes.
Yeah. How's that going? We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah,
before,
no, I think it's going relatively well. People probably weren't aware, but this is the third year that we've had cell phone restrictions in our school district. We already had it where in the elementary school you couldn't have it, and we already had it in the middle school where you couldn't have it. It had to be in your locker. And at the high school, we had restrictions where it was off and away in class. But people could have it out in the hallway, or people could have it out at lunch. So what really changed for us, for the most part, is off and away was still the case in the classroom. And now it should be off and away during hall pass or passing periods when they're in the hallway. And it should be off and away if you're on campus at lunch. Mm-hmm. I suspect, of course, when we're off campus, it's allowed. You can do it if you're off campus, but keeping it off and away during lunchtime is pretty hard, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and
yes,
but I think the spirit of it, and this came from the governor down.
executive order.
Yeah, is the point of it though is to generally reduce the distraction at school.
Yeah,
altogether.
I think it was definitely focus on learning, and I'll just say having less distractions or disruptions. Mental health was a big thing that the governor's executive order was focused on. Students having anxiety or depression, or kids having even, I'll just call it suicidal ideation. We've had times where now the data is that students are not feeling as connected, or not feeling a sense of belonging, or having more depression and anxiety, and that cell phones and social media have a big role in that. And so the governor's order had a lot to do with public safety, but the other parts were for learning and lack of distractions.
And I get that. I've had friends, with Charlie Kirk's death and all of that, we just had this explosion of whatever you want to call this out there, and so I had a couple of people that have said, I'm going off of social media, and you see that from time to time. It's always funny to me that they have to declare it so loudly, but anyhow, but I've never understood that, but. Recently then I've become a little bit more aware of is this affecting me? Am I spending too much time on my phone? And it's not hard to understand that I might be spending too much time on my phone, but is it affecting my attitude? Mm-hmm. And the algorithms are so they will show you what it is that you want to see. They classify you. It's kind of funny. I have a couple of different Instagram accounts, and I will go to a different Instagram account of mine, and they clearly don't know me like the other one. I mean, it's really clear which one I spend the most time on because they're able to funnel stuff to me, But anyhow, it does affect you. I mean, it can get to you.
Yeah. And for a young mind, I'll just call it a young brain, prefrontal cortex still developing for decision making. It's like candy.
Yeah.
Or sugar, and we got to figure out our relationship with technology and with social media, and even with artificial intelligence or generative artificial intelligence. It's these kids are having to deal with all kinds of stuff now, and we got to keep them safe as best we can.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Well, and the problem solving. Kyle and I were talking about this the other day, how just, and it's easy as you get older to see what younger kids might be missing. It's just, that's just a natural trend. But the problem solving aspects of life in general have been a challenge. And now with AI, I mean, you don't even have to know how to look something up in a library or how to. Yeah.
We got to figure out, like, one of the things I've been sharing with our staff, our teachers, our administrators, is at some point, we as a district have to figure out kind of what is the role of generative AI in schools. The role for the kids, and I use words green light, yellow light, red light. Like, what is green light for kids with ChatGPT? Or yellow light or red light, and same thing for staff, same thing for administrators, or same things for parents as they help their children. And the reality is, like, the students need a foundation. They need to be able to add and subtract and problem solve and write and communicate and have a general understanding of how things are supposed to be. And then they can ask ChatGPT for something, but it should be based on their knowledge that they have.
Right.
Not as a replacement or a fast track where there's not just what cheats them,
Right.
where they don't have the knowledge and skills to be able to explain or to do. And sometimes I've given, like, ChatGPT might be a nice car, and you can drive that car where you want it to go, but you should know where you want that car to go. Right. And you don't let the car just take you wherever the car wants to take you.
Right.
And so we have to think of it as a tool or a resource that we want for us, but we're the driver.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's how society is looking at it yet, or if that's how kids are looking at it yet, but I'm trying to mold it in a way where I want us to know, like, before we do a bunch of ChatGPT, blah, 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 generative AI stuff, let's make sure that they have the concept and the skill and the foundation to do it independently, and then they can take that little car to a direction that might enhance them, but not take over. Yeah. So we got to figure that out.
You got to find the happy medium.
Yeah. No,
us too. There's no difference. Like, because AI doesn't just write papers for you. Can make AI do a lot of different things, and it's going to be very prevalent in the future. So kids need to know how to use it, but you got to find the happy medium.
No, all of this takes, like, I use the word tinkering with the machine, just kind of figuring it out and. Yeah. What's the right spot? What's the right role? What's the right thing? But doing nothing is usually bad. But,
you think?
Yeah. I listened to an expert talk about this not too long ago, and she described it as AI is a 5-year-old who wants to please you, and if you just give it nothing to do, it's going to create chaos. She said it's like a group of kindergartners, and you tell them to just go entertain yourselves. You're going to have chaos. Whereas if you give them a task, a specific thing, The other thing I was thinking about, and we've talked about this before, is that, one of the greatest helps in math, and I remember taking this in school, is being to approximate or estimate. So then if you have a column of numbers and you look at it and you go, that should be, and so then you pump it into a calculator. Well, if it's wildly off what you thought it was going to be, and AI is that same manner. You should be able to have, what should the answer be? If it's wildly different than what I thought it was, then why is that?
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I think those are good things to remember.
Yeah.
What you just shared.
Yeah. Well, cool. So, so we have volleyball. Tell us about volleyball. Yes.
Oh, the state championships?
Yeah.
1A,
and
2A?
tell us how that happened, too.
Well, long story short, I hope lots of folks can attend. It's November 7th and 8th. We host the 1A, 2A state championships of volleyball. Eastern Oregon hosts the 2A. Eastern Oregon University hosts the 2A. LeGrand High School hosts the 1A. We should have around 256 athletes and coaches coming to our community. Each one of those athletes and coaches usually brings 4 to 5 people that support them. So we're going to be in the 1,200 to 1,500 people that come and visit that weekend, November 7th and 8th, to watch high-level competition. I think my relationship with OSAA was helpful in us bringing it, but
Because you serve on that board.
I do,
right? Yeah.
I do on their executive board. The reality, though, is I was telling them even before I was on that board, LeGrand has nice facilities. We have an updated high school gymnasium, and it's really nice and big, and it can host stuff. And then EOU is a college setting, college campus, really nice.
And they like that.
Yeah, so it's like we have nice gyms, or we have nice facilities. We got hotels, and we've got things that you guys can utilize too for people that want to travel, and you're hosting things in Pendleton or you're hosting things in Baker. We can host things too. So once they told me that they were looking for another venue for 1A, 2A volleyball, I was quickly, will you come to LeGrand? Will you? I can host you. You guys can look at our facilities. You can look at our gyms. You can check out our town. You can look at our hotels and come over. And and so this summer they came over early in the summer and they checked us out. And then again, I let them know we're here and we're happy to make you a priority, and we'd love for you to come over here and at least try for 2 years, and then if you decide, then maybe you can stay here longer. Yeah. So we came to those types of agreements, and now we're going to get to host them and see what it takes, or see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And so, flesh out the details a little bit about that, because some of it's happening at the high school gymnasium, and some of it's happening at EOU.
Yeah, so the 1A tournament is at LeGrand High School.
Okay.
The 2A tournament is at Eastern Oregon University. Next year we'll host the 2As, and EOU will host a 1A.
Okay.
And the goal is just to have enough parking. So we are gonna cancel school on November 7th. Again, they need around 300 to 400 parking spaces for all the people coming to visit. And between Central Elementary and the high school and the middle school, we have about 250 parking spaces. So the reality is, if we tried to have school during that day for staff to park or for high school kids to park, we're just not built like that. So the reality is we're canceling November 7th, moving that last day basically to the last day of our calendar. So we'll have school on June 5th. We had school ending on June 4th. Now it's on June 5th. And now we have plenty of parking spaces, and we have the ability to host. It should have games that start at 9 o'clock in the morning and games that end around 8 o'clock at night on Friday and Saturday. We have a need for volunteers. People can reach out to Deb Comfort if they're interested in volunteering, but we got ticket takers. We got folks that are I'll just call it door ambassadors, helping people to know where to go inside, people cleaning the floor, people also supervising, hospitality room, concessions. We have lots of tasks that are going on, and so if people are interested in helping, but I've been told before that almost every game should have 500 to 800 people in attendance. So it just depends.
I'm hoping Safeway sponsors the hospitality room like that wrestling
I
tournament.
asked
did a really good
Walmart,
job.
I asked Safeway, and they're giving us stuff. Both are being generous, and
That hospitality room for that wrestling, for the girls wrestling, was very nice.
yes,
Like it was.
yes, that was elite. It was nice.
It really was.
I'm asking lots of folks. That's another thing. Asking businesses
Yeah.
to, decorate, be welcoming. If they can do any coupons or 10% off this or anything that would say welcome to LeGrand. Welcome OSAA, 1A, 2A volleyball. And if they want to decorate, in alignment to any team, they can do that. And just for us to be welcoming. You probably need more food, like you're saying, too. More restaurants to be ready to have lots of people come and visit.
Right.
And just for us to make it a really good experience. We should have a lot of hotels full, a lot of, I'll just call it the Airbnbs also, people just filling them up.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
How the Hampton Inn being in, that's that's got to be huge.
That was
for this kind of stuff.
that was a big thing for me to try to secure
Right.
at least 80 rooms if I could right
Yeah.
away, and that the Hampton Inn has been wonderful for that.
Yeah, because the hotel, we've just needed that. We've needed that for a long time, and we hear that all the time. I mean, when you, and I'm sure you do too, as teams have, because there's a lack of competition. The prices for the hotel rooms in the past has been extremely high, and so, I mean, there are teams that come to this side of the state who will end up staying in Pendleton or staying in Baker City or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
super critical for
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Love it. Yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Bud wants to know if a shuttle bus makes any sense to a parking lot.
We talked about that, so that's a great question. We talked about shuttling our
From
students.
like the football field at EOU or something?
Well,
or?
really from potentially the Armory or
That would
even
work too, yeah.
so the Armory or going to the fairgrounds and saying, okay, we're going to bus our high school kids or our staff to school, so we had the parking lot empty for any visitors or people that are attending the tournament. And then quickly, a lot of our folks were like, we want to be close to the school if we're parked. We don't want to be shuttled from the Armory or shuttled from the fairgrounds to the school and then shuttled back at the end of school. So it was like a hard no from people that drive into work, that they don't want to be shuttled in. And if Bud was getting at like, well, let's make everybody park, at the Armory or at the fairgrounds, to be able to be bussed in so that they can watch a game and then they can go home after the game.
Yeah.
Those are far distances.
He said maybe adding hotels to the shuttle stops. Or
Yeah.
downtown. You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, and hotels could potentially decide on their own to
shuttle people.
to
back
shuttle
and
people.
forth. Or
They might
the
like that.
local taxi or
Yeah.
the Neon or what is that what it's called? Neon, the bus that runs around here 80 miles an hour downtown.
But yeah, Northeast Oregon Transit, something like that. But the reality is, we did talk about shuttling our own people and our own students.
And it was
And,
a hard no.
people were
Yeah. Like, no, we're not parking at the.
We do not want to park somewhere else
and
and
riding a shuttle to school.
not that. So we okay, well, we can reschedule school to a different day. So we did that.
Well, cool. Well, and that's exciting, and that is super cool that LeGrand will get that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we
Should
get
bring-
a lot of Valley
Should
teams in.
well, it should and it should bring in. I mean, OSA is telling me they think it's more like 1.2 to 1.4 million dollars of economic interest or economic benefit. I think of it as like anything that's really 600 to 800,000 or somewhere a good amount for all that people will pay for housing or hotel hospitality, all that people will pay for food. And then just the experiences. I love personally kids from rural areas coming to LeGrand, checking out Eastern Oregon University.
Yeah, it's huge.
If it makes them interested in our town and in our university, I love it.
It's
Well, yeah. You just don't know how people might experience that. I mean, because there's younger kids. They might come along and like, oh, this is cool, you know, and yeah, they're considered EOU, or maybe the parents are like, this would be a cool little place to live, and you know, and so there's just being here in the location is just has ripple effects that you have no idea where they go.
I agree.
Yeah. So cool. Well, I was thinking about this earlier. School attendance. Last year you had a big push on getting.
Yeah, getting kids to attend regularly.
Yes.
It's better. That's another thing that we've had our best year since about 2020, 2019 for regular attender rates. So the high school, by the way, got to be around 58, 59, 61, 62. Like they've been in this like regular attender rate. That means kids are missing 10%. If you're not a regular attender, at least 10% of school. We were getting at around 61% regular attenders, so that made 39% non-regular attenders. Or we were at one time 58% regular attenders, so that made around 42% non-regular attenders. So we were in this bad trajectory. The elementaries have always had consistently more regular attenders.
Of course.
But middle school, high school, especially high school, far less. We were at around 91% regular attender rate so far for the high school, and the rest were like 96%, 95%, 94% on our other schools. So we have people showing up more regularly than in years past, which again is important for to
And
learn.
That's 90% of school. So you can miss one day every 2 weeks, and you're at 90%.
Yeah, essentially. So
It's getting better.
It's getting better. And
Yeah.
again, if you want to pass classes, you got to attend. If you want to participate well in school, you got to attend.
Right.
And so that's gotten better, and we're really happy about that. It takes a lot. It's a foundational thing. I'll just say that. If you show up regularly, you tend to learn more, you tend to participate more, and you tend to pass more.
Yeah. I mean, that's like common sense.
Oh yeah, but imagine here, Dodgy. Imagine if you were gone 10 or 15% of the time.
Yeah.
And Brent wanted to have a great business and do important things, and you're like, and sometimes I tell people it's hard to be great. It's hard to be great when you're gone.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gone a lot.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us to get these goals and do these things when your behavior is somewhere here.
Yeah.
To here.
Yeah.
It takes this.
Right.
It's very simple, like logic too, but and I don't mind. Like if you're sick, you're sick. If you got things, you got things. But in general, we need that consistency for us to reach our potential.
Yeah.
I think that everybody, and it doesn't matter if you're an employee or a boss or a student, it doesn't matter, whatever. It's all the same thing. You wake up and you're never 100%. You never are like, I'm going to bust the doors down, you know. And so then that point between 100% and that point before, like, I am not getting out of bed today, there is a lot of area in there, you know, and you're right. If you're at 80% and you go, I'm just going to let it slide today, you know, and yeah, you're right. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference in your learning, you know.
Sometimes I give that like partial understanding, misunderstanding, partial conception, misconception. It's just hard to learn things sometimes when you're not there.
Yeah.
Then you're like, I don't know what lesson, or I don't know what activity, I'm not really sure about this skill. And then people want teachers to be really good at their craft. And when, I'll just say 20%, 15%, 30% of their class is gone, it slows down learning, slows down instruction.
Sure.
All
For
these kinds of
everybody.
things happen too.
It's kind of like, I guess it would kind of, you know, it's kind of like going to school via text message. I mean,
Yeah.
rather than having a
Not full,
conversation.
yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean,
Partial stuff.
And I get that sometimes. I'll have an email chain or I'll have a text message and be like, can we just talk about this on the phone, please? You know, I mean, because
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with class. I mean, if you're not showing up, if you don't, and it's not just showing up. It's then the student actually engages in their own understanding, where it's like, can you explain that one more time? Can I stay after so that you can explain this to me? I mean, they're actively involved in trying to learn and understand.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But for this particular number, you don't even have to be actively involved. You just have to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're
that's
talking
kind of the
about
first step,
school.
right.
Yeah. We're just talking about people showing up. To
I'm always like, it's a great habit, it's a great skill, it's a great life habit, life skill. Showing up is one of the most important things that a human can be or can do.
Absolutely.
Being consistent, being persistent, being determined. That doesn't even take a lot of like, you're that smart.
Bud
I'm
says,
usually like,
Okay.
I'm not the smartest guy, and my point is, but I show up.
Bud says it's a leadership thing. Thank you, George. And I mean, you have to make school exciting too, and that's your guys' job. You know what I mean? As teachers, administrators, you got to make the kids want to go to school.
We have fun. If they have fun, you know, if it's engaging, if there's lots of feedback, if it's relevant.
Right.
Yeah, all of it. We need
is
that
huge.
too.
That's probably the best word you've used today, because if it's not relevant, kids don't. They have a phone.
Yeah.
It's way different nowadays.
Yeah. No, you're right. We got to, and there's got to be a relationship or a connection, and kind of a I value you, I care about you.
Yeah.
And most kids still need that too. If they feel that, they'll pay attention more, or they'll do the things more. But if they don't feel those types of, you know, relationship, engagement, relevancy too, you lose them.
So when I listen to you, there are times I get glimpses of you as a teacher. Mm-hmm. Red light, green light, yellow light. You know, I mean, and there, as we talk about different things, it's like you have bullet points in your mind that emerge.
Yeah.
I'm
very simple.
No, it is, and I love that. I guess what I'm wondering is, do you have that written down and you function from that, or is that just kind of how you think about things? You know what I mean? Does your team understand your bullet points? Yeah.
I've done that from a leadership standpoint a lot of times, so that people know what's going on in this brain.
Right.
Sometimes, so I might say to people like, we want gold. And for them to know, like, I don't want bronze, I don't want silver, I want gold. I want them to do their best.
Right.
You know, or I use terms 8, 9, 10. I'm looking for 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10 effort, or 8, 9, 10 attitude, 8, 9, 10 execution. I'm looking for us to be up here, because 1, 2, 3 is not good for us, and 4, 5, 6 is frustrating too.
It's average.
So it's like we're trying to be here.
Right.
So when we do facilities things, I'm looking for gold.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for effort from us, I'm looking for, and that's simple stuff to help people hear, like the direction that I'm pushing, or I'm asking for. I can settle sometimes. I'll settle for 7 if things are really hard, or I'll settle for bronze if we don't have the resources. But if we can get the best out of everyone so that we can be up here, like that's where we should be going as often as possible. And so that, and then green light, yellow light, red light, or green zone, yellow zone, red zone, it's really like, what do we do for kids that are in the red zone? And what do we do for people that have, you know, yellow systems? And that to me is like large group, small group, individual group.
Yeah.
And just pushing in simple ways that help people see a picture.
Yeah.
And then even my hands doing this. Sometimes I'll do like, are we going this way? Are we going this way? Are we going this way? Which way are we going? Because I just want us to like course correct and get on the right path and have an upward trajectory. So to me, part of leadership is having little mnemonic things that help people.
Yeah, no, and there, I think we should call them Georgisms, though.
No,
Has somebody made a list
I'm
of
going to
those
say
things yet?
that yes, the more you're in the position for 9 years, people start to like, we're going for gold. You know, they start to say that to me. And sometimes I use like, better. I want things to be better. Simple stuff, just want things to be better. And I'll use the word better. We're going for better. And then not ready. And then they're like, what do you mean not ready? So it's not ready for greatness. You know, and so people will say if something didn't work out, they weren't ready, or that person wasn't ready. Yeah. And it's really about being ready for greatness. And that one's playful. But anyway, there's all kinds of little things that people catch on to me and say, the Georgisms.
I ask athletes a lot, what's the one phrase that they're remember from their coach. You know what I mean? Because usually it's something like that. You know what I mean? It's something that's either motivating or something that you also say, "I'll just say" a lot. That's your favorite word.
Let's just what?
I'll just say. Or let's just say. Let's just say. You say a lot, but that's like one that I've noticed.
People hear me say, "I'm always all right."
Yeah, that's true.
I use that, like, "How are you doing?" "Well, I'm all right. I'm always all right." And the reality is, I use that a lot but my all right is usually pretty good, or my all right is usually we're doing good, we're doing okay, we're doing great. But I have at any given time 3 or 4 issues going on. I have 3 or 4 good things going on too. Like, I'm just always somewhere in the middle, just pushing us forward on a positive trajectory. But I'm still happy, or I'm still satisfied. But we're always all right. I'm always all right. That kind of thing.
Not falling off the deep end yet.
Yeah, I'm somewhere here, not too here, somewhere here.
Yeah. Well, good. And the thing I come back to for me, as I always say, is like, we can't do nothing. I mean, that is, when we're talking about, because most of the time my focus is bigger, it's like community, and and I'll see a problem. It's like, well, the status quo. I mean, what that means, the status quo is not working. We can't just be happy with where it's at right now. Yeah.
Got to keep going forward.
Yeah.
That's really your only choice.
Right. So,
in many issues or problems, we got to figure it out. And we got to keep moving forward.
I call that grinding. Just keep grinding.
Yeah.
Well, George, hey, thank you for being here today.
Welcome.
Always
Thank you.
a pleasure. Yeah. You want to get us out of here?
Let's do it. On this day, October 14th, 1884, George Eastman patents paper strip photographic film. 1926, on this day, A.A. Milne's book Winnie the Pooh is released. 1968, on this day, is the first live telecast from a manned U.S. spacecraft, the Apollo 7. 1968, they were able to shoot video live down from space. That's crazy. 1982, U.S. President Ronald Reagan proclaims a war on drugs, and that opened a huge can of worms. 2020, on this day, a copy of William Shakespeare's First Folio sells for a record $9.98 million at auction in New York. And in 2024, a Russian man was rescued after 67 days adrift in an inflatable boat after his brother and nephew both died in the Sea of don't even ask me how to say that name, in Russia, in the ocean in Russia, that's crazy. Can you imagine being on a boat just drifting?
You said
67 days?
68 days?
67 days, yeah. That's a long time. That's 2.5 months. Yeah. The number one movie on this day in America in 1985, Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so I found an Arnold quote for you. Arnold says, "You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets." One more time. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, George.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, George.
Glad that you're here with us still. Yeah. Don't forget, Eastern Oregon Film Festival is this weekend. Be sure and check them out. Wednesday night at Swartz Theater is the reading of the Bigfoot thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Wednesday night, too, you got a thing.
Tomorrow night. Keeping it clear with Cody Bowen tomorrow night. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't even say anything about that. But yeah, 5:30 live tomorrow night right here.
Right here in the studio.
Yep.
All righty. Hey, thanks, you guys. We'll see you soon.